By the end of this tutorial, what we're going to do is make ourselves a TV or a picture frame in Blender. So let's begin. So scale on the X by 1.5, and this is just your standard cube. And what we can do now is actually scale on the Y, which is close to the green line, by 0.1. So what we've done now is actually we've altered the actual cube. And if we were to actually inset this, it wouldn't work very well. We'd have thin lines on top and thick ones on the side. So what you always do is Control and A, or you try to do, unless that's the effect you're after, is fix rotation and scale. And the reason it does that is just that it will make insets work better on your file. So first of all, let's just inset this face. So I went into edit mode by pressing the tab key. I'm gone on to face select up here, select the face on the front, hold the shift down and select the face on the back. So now what I'll do is press I twice, I, and then scale it down by just moving my mouse down. So what we've got there is we've got our general picture frame or TV screen, but what we need to do is inset this one. So select this face, right click, and we're going to extrude along the normals. So as you can see, that takes it out, but we want to be in because it's a TV screen. And on the back, we'll just leave that as it is. So now let's just add in a bevel. Make sure you're in edit mode. We will select the inner faces and hit Control and B. And we're going to add a custom bevel to this, and it's going to be a cornice molding. And as you can see, this has got maybe 14 points to it. I think it has 14, so I'm just going to add 14 to that. And we'll increase the actual thickness just so it adds a bit of a bevel on there on the inside. And what we can do now is actually select the outside, Control B again. This one I'm going to make it a little bit wider because I wish to, maybe not that wide though. That'll be okay. There we have it. We've got our bevel. Let's start splitting some of these things up. So the cube there, I'm just going to split these items up. So press the tab key. I'm going to go on face select this face, and I'm going to press the P key and split it from selection. So now you'll see another cube appearing here because it's not part of the old one. Now I'm going to select the back now, and I press the P key yet again and do it by selection. So this means that when we come back out of edit mode, we've got three parts to this now. So we've got the glass, which I'll rename as glass, and we've got the frame, and of course we've got the actual back face, if I can find it. But it's cube 2, and what we can do is call this the image. So we've got three different parts to this, and we'll start colouring them in. First of all, I've got an HDRI on this, which I actually got from HDR Avon, and I'm just going to select it now. So I've got this here because if it's got glass on the front, there is going to be some reflection, so we want to have something that it can reflect. So we'll just add in the first colour, which is on the glass, and we will just go on to the actual object. I'm going to call this glass, and if we go into the principal BSDF, we can actually just select the default glass. Now as you can see, everything's now glass because that's the only colour that's actually assigned. We've added the glass. The roughness I'm going to take right down to just a little bit, just to get a little bit of surface reflection. So that's it. That's the first colour added to that. And then we'll actually select our frame. I don't want this colour now. Go into a new colour and we'll call this frame. I could call it frame colour so you're not getting mistaken. And we'll make this a black colour, and I want this to actually be slightly quite metallic. Take the roughness right down. I also would like to actually have some 3-point lighting if I've got it enabled. Yep, lights, 3-point lighting, just to actually put extra light in our scene. And it's up to you how bright you want your lights. I'm just doing that to actually highlight some things. I'd like that to be a little bit more highlighted, so press 200, and as you can see, it's just picking out about 2000. Just picking out the actual the colours, and we've got a backlight there. So backlights can be 5000 if you wish, and you can always move the lights about just by pressing the G key to get the effect you want. and this of course is the fill light. And I'm just going to move it round like that. Anyway, so we've now got this. So we've got the glass on the front, got the frame, but we haven't got anything on the image. So what we'll do now is add an image to this. As you can see, we've called this image, so we don't need the glass on that image, but what we do need is an image. Go into the base color, and I'm going to select an image texture. As you can see, it's now turned purple, so I'll just open my image texture, and it's going to be Dragonflies MP3. And as you can see, if this happens, it's on its side. What you do is press the 1 key. In fact, let's just rename this. I'm just going to call it film. Right, so what we can do is actually go into edit mode, A to select all, and what we can do now is press the U key, then project from view, and as you can see, we've got some of our image. Now the reason why the old image is not there is because we haven't sized it yet. So go into UV editing, and as you can see, got our image there. Press the tab key. Oops. Make sure you're in edit mode, go into point select, and I'm just going to drag these into the corners like this. Just like this, but let's just take it a bit closer just to make sure we've captured all the image. We'll check each point, why not? Pressing the full stop key will actually zoom in on an area. So as you can see, get the whole image, and same with this one, full stop. And as you can see, it's not exactly lined up, but we're going to be close. And last but not least, this bottom one. So back out, full stop to actually zoom in on it, and we'll just move it. Right, so there we have it. We've got ourselves a TV, and let's have a look. So as you can see, we've now got the glass on the front, the image on the back. This is casting some shadows, as it would in real life, onto your screen. But if you want your image to be brighter, so let me just click back on the image. What you can do is you can actually go into the color, and we can go right down, and I'm looking for the emission. So go into the emission here, and then what we can do is actually select the image texture, and of course the image will always be in there, so we can just select the image, and what that allows us to do is alter the brightness of our screen like this, just like that. And then lastly, I'm just going to go back into layout, because this animation is 360 long. I created it in Pixlr first, and then used Nano Banana to actually make some changes to it. So what we've got here is we've got the frame set to 1. That's why you've got ghosting. So I'm going to set the frames to 360. Put cyclic and auto. And then obviously we need to actually go to our emissions tab again and make the same settings, which then should actually bring them back in sync, just like that. And there you have it. We've got ourselves a lovely picture. If we take it back to frame 1, you've got a lovely dragon picture, which you could render out as a picture, but it could be in your scene. Or it could be a special effect like a lens flare, because it's actually just attached to this one plane. If you had a transparency on there, you could use it for many effects in films. You know, it could be an exit sign. It could be a projection onto a building like you see in Japan and Tokyo and all that kind of thing. And then all we need to do is render it. As you can see, we've now got a moving picture on this. To render it is simplicity itself. You go to the output, you decide on your resolution, adjust your camera if need be. So say you wanted it in 4K. As you can see, that's it, select 4K. And if we actually look through our camera, as you can see, that's a 4K image, but we're a bit far away, so we could press the N key, go into view, select our camera, and then zoom in on it a bit, and then unticking it locks it back off. And of course, then we can actually render it out as a video, just like that. And what it'll do is actually render it as an MP4 like that. Right, the other thing is that Pixabay, which has got loads and loads of animations and things, explosions, and most of these are copyright free. You know, we've got over. Yeah. and free to use. So if you want to actually add some nice effects with flat planes, you can add detail to your images and of course your films that you or your creations. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Please show me what you make on my community tab, and of course it's been nice to actually show you this quick and easy tip on how to add some special effects to your image, and of course we made a TV in the process. Bye for now.